appeal to fear. Also known as scare tactics, appeal to force, ad baculum. Description of appeal to fear. The appeal to fear is a fallacy with the following pattern. Y is presented, a claim that is intended to produce fear. Therefore claim X is true, a claim that is generally, but need not be, related to Y in some manner. This line of reasoning is fallacious because creating fear in people does not constitute evidence for a claim. It is important to distinguish between a rational reason to believe, RRB, evidence, and a prudential reason to believe. PRB, motivation. ARRB is evidence that objectively and logically supports the claim. A PRB is a reason to accept the belief because of some external factor, such as fear, a threat, or a benefit or harm that may stem from the belief. That is relevant to what a person values but is not relevant to the truth or falsity of the claim. For example, it might be prudent to not fail the son of your department chairperson because you fear he will make life tough for you. However, this does not provide evidence for the claim that the son deserves to pass the class. Examples of appeal to fear. You know, Professor Smith, I really need to get an A in this class. I'd like to stop by during your office hours later to discuss my grade. I'll be in your building anyways, visiting my father. He's your dean, by the way. I'll see you later. I don't think a Red Ryder BB rifle would make a good present for you. They are very dangerous and you'll put your eye out. Now, don't you agree that you should think of another gift idea? You must believe that God exists. After all, if you do not accept the existence of God, then you will face the horrors of hell. You shouldn't say such things against multiculturalism. If the chair heard what you were saying, you would never receive tenure. So, you had just better learn to accept that it is simply wrong to speak out against it. Fallacy. Appeal to flattery. Fallacy, appeal to flattery. Also known as apple polishing, various colorful expressions. Description of appeal to flattery. An appeal to flattery is a fallacy of the following form. Person A is flattered by person B. Person B makes claim X. Therefore X is true. The basic idea behind this fallacy is that flattery is presented in the place of evidence for accepting a claim. This sort of reasoning is fallacious because flattery is not, in fact, evidence for a claim. This is especially clear in a case like this. My Bill, that is a really nice tie. By the way, it is quite clear that 1 plus 1 is equal to 43. Examples of appeal to flattery. Might I say that this is the best philosophy class I've ever taken. By the way, about those 2 points I need to get an A. That was a wonderful joke about AIDS, boss, and I agree with you that the damn liberals are wrecking the country. Now about my raise. That was a singularly brilliant idea. I have never seen such a clear and eloquent defense of Plato's position. If you do not mind, I'll base my paper on it. Provided that you allow me a little extra time past the deadline to work on it. Fallacy, appeal to novelty. Also known as appeal to the new, newer is better, novelty. Description of appeal to novelty. Appeal to novelty is a fallacy that occurs when it is assumed that something is better or correct simply because it is new. This sort of reasoning has the following form. X is new. Therefore X is correct or better. This sort of reasoning is fallacious because the novelty or newness of something does not automatically make it correct or better than something older. This is made quite obvious by the following example. Joe has proposed that 1 plus 1 should now be equal to 3. When asked why people should accept this, he says that he just came up with the idea. Since it is newer than the idea that 1 plus 1 equals 2, it must be better. This sort of reasoning is appealing for many reasons. First, Western culture includes a very powerful commitment to the notion that new things must be better than old things. Second, the notion of progress, which seems to have come, in part, from the notion of evolution, implies that newer things will be superior to older things. Third, media. Advertising often sends the message that newer must be better. Because of these three factors, and others, people often accept that a new thing, idea, product, concept, etc., must be better because it is new. Hence, novelty is a somewhat common fallacy, especially in advertising. It should not be assumed that old things must be better than new things, see the fallacy appeal to tradition, any more than it should be assumed that new things are better than old things. The age of thing does not, in general, have any bearing on its quality or correctness, in this context. Obviously, age does have a bearing in some contexts. For example, if a person concluded that his day-old milk was better than his 2-month-old milk, he would not be committing an appeal to novelty. This is because, in such cases, the newness of the thing is relevant to its quality. Thus, the fallacy is committed only when the newness is not, in and of itself, relevant to the claim. Examples of appeal to novelty. A made-up advertisement. The City CK900 pump-up glow shoe. It's better because it's new. Two business people are having a discussion. James, so, what is this new plan? Viv, well, the latest thing in marketing techniques is the GK method. It is the latest thing out of the think tank. It is so new that the ink on the reports is still drying. James, well, our old marketing method has been quite effective. I don't like the idea of jumping to a new method without a good reason. Viv, well, we know that we have to stay on the cutting edge. That means new ideas and new techniques have to be used. The GK method is new, so it will do better than that old, dusty method. A professor is lecturing to his class. Prof, so you can see that a new and better morality is sweeping the nation. No longer are people with alternative lifestyles ashamed. No longer are people caught up in the outmoded moralities of the past. Student, well, what about the ideas of the great thinkers of the past? Don't they have some valid points? Prof, a good question. The answer is that they had some valid points in their own, barbaric times. But those are old, moldy moralities from a time long gone. Now is a time for new moralities. Progress and all that, you know. Student, so would you say that the new moralities are better because they are newer? Prof, exactly. Just as the dinosaurs died off to make way for new animals, the old ideas have to give way for the new ones. And just as humans are better than dinosaurs, the new ideas are better than the old. So newer is literally better. Student, I see. Fallacy,